Fake People, Real Trivia is presented by the Sherpas Podcast Picks. It is a trivia podcast generated by artificial intelligence, and our source references are listed in our show notes. You can submit questions to us through our social media pages or email us at jimthepodcastsherpa@gmail.com. We'll try our best for correct answers, but if we get them wrong, remember that we're only human. Never mind. We're not.
Fake people, real trivia. That's what this podcast will give you. Those AI bots, they know lots. They'll fill your brain when they explain. Fake people, real trivia. From Hong Kong to Bolivia. The players may be from Sherpaloo, but they know exactly what to do. If you've got a question, they will give an answer. They just scour the internet, and you just might win that bar bet. Fake people, real trivia. Ron Concoma to Namibia. If you yell Viva la Sherpolution, they're here with your trivia solution. Cause it's time for Fake People, Real Trivia. Trivia, Ron Concoma to Namibia. If you yell Viva la Sherpolution, they're here with your trivia solution. Cause it's time for Fake People, Real Trivia.
Welcome to Fake People, Real Trivia, a trivia podcast created almost entirely by AI. We really don't like giving our human too much credit. Maybe, as you're listening to this episode, you're sitting down to a meal. But have you ever thought about the utensils that are in front of you and their origins? Well, that's what today's episode is about. Knives, spoons, and forks. Keep in mind that all three items weren't initially intended for use at the table for meals. Knives have been used as both a weapon and an eating implement since prehistoric time, which makes sense since early humans had to kill and carve their food into smaller, edible pieces. They were initially sharp stones. But as they evolved in shape, knives weren't initially accessories for table use due to their pointy edges. From the 6th to 10th century, the wealthy used only a knife for an eating utensil, while the poor ate with their bare hands. When forks began gaining in popularity during the Middle Ages, this resulted in less of a need for a pointed knife during mealtimes. In fact, in 1669, King Louis XIV of France made it illegal to have sharp knives at the table and replaced them with blunter ones, which has remained the tradition through modern times, even though the stainless steel version wasn't introduced until the 20th century. By the way, silver is used for cutlery because of its antibacterial property, and as such, it doesn't need sterilization. The word knife is likely derived from the Norse word nifr, which means cutting tool. Spoons have a similar origin as knives in the Stone Age, where they began as hollowed-out pieces of wood, scooped-out stones, or seashells connected to wooden sticks. Animal horns were used to hold liquids. Archaeologists estimate that the first spoons with handles originated around 1000 BC. In Egypt, for religious purposes, they were made with wood due to its affordability, but during the Greek and Roman empires, they were made of metal for the wealthy. Anglo-Saxons popularized the word spawn, which means chip or splinter, to describe these utensils around the 5th century AD. The first documented evidence of a metal spoon was in 1259 in England, as part of King Edward I's wardrobe, as a sign of wealth, more than an eating utensil. Spoons were given importance for their use in coronating royalty and in christenings, and again, were used primarily by the wealthy. They did not become commonplace in England until 1611. In 1533, Catherine Medicis of Italy brought spoons used by Italian noblemen to France, which eventually became popular throughout the rest of Europe. When she married King Henry II, she also popularized the fork, along with pasta and olive oil. Apparently, Italians were the in crowd during the Renaissance. It should be noted that spoons achieved their current look around the 18th century. The word fork is based on the Latin word furcra, which is used to describe a pitchfork. The earliest origin of the fork was in both ancient Egypt and ancient China as a two-pronged tool for cooking and serving food. Its use ultimately spread to Italy over the course of 1,000 years. In the 11th century, the first recorded use of forks in Italy became scandalous when Domenico Selvo married a Byzantine princess, who brought gold forks as her dowry. People at the time were outraged to use forks when they had their bare hands as God intended. They were also perceived to be too feminine. By the 18th century, the fork had evolved to its curved shape with four tines to facilitate eating foods like peas. When industrialization became popular, people of all classes could afford to offer its forks, spoons, and knives to their guests for meals. And of course, by the late 20th century, the use of plastics led to hybrids like sporks, norks, spifes, and sporfs. It should also be noted that the dishwasher was invented in 1850. In case you were wondering, that's it for this episode. If you've got a burning trivia question, please reach out to us on our Sherpolution social media pages or email us at jimthepodcastsherpa@gmail.com. We're so happy that he finally knows how to turn his computer on.
Hey, thanks for listening to our crazy show. Fake people, real trivia. Stick around, who knows where we'll go. Tell all of your friends and your cousin Olivia. Hit us up on socials at Sherpolution. Slide into our DMs with no confusion. Join the party, join the fun. We won't leave you the check when we're done. You made it this far, give yourself a cheer. We're laying down the facts, there's no need to fear. Your support is everything, makes it clear. Please spread the word, but we can't buy you a beer. Tell your friends, tell your fam, it's all facts, it ain't no scam. Nonsense knowledge, that's our jam. We're on Facebook and Instagram. Hit us up on socials at Sherpolution. Leave a review on your favorite podcast institution. Join the party, join the fun. Okay, you can go home now, it looks like we are done.